Welcome to the Instant Trivia Podcast, episode 1789, where we ask the best trivia on the internet. Let's get started. What term describes the clarity or sharpness of a monitor's display? Resolution. What common object has both a sleeve and a tray? Matchbox. Parr, smolt, and grilse are different life stages of which fish? Salmon. Which member of the Rolling Stones was born William Perks? Bill Wyman. Which ancient city, the last capital of the Assyrian Empire, was destroyed by fire in 612 BC? Nineveh. What type of structure was the first nuclear reactor in Chicago built under? Answer: a football stadium under the stands of Stagg Field. Which celebrity launched a perfume called M in time for Christmas 2007? Mariah Carey. In track and field races, what does the ringing of the bell indicate? That the final lap has begun. 1 lap to go. What stage name did Robert Van Winkle adopt? Vanilla Ice. What part of the body is primarily affected by osteoporosis? Bones. In bagpipe playing, what is the melody pipe that is played with one or both hands called? Chante. On modern U.S. coins, which city does the D Mint mark represent? Denver. What is the most common human blood type worldwide? Answer: O positive, O plus. Type O overall is the most common. What color is missing from the standard 3x3 Rubik's Cube, in addition to red, white, blue, yellow, and green? Orange. Which American golfer won both the Masters and the Open Championship in 1998? Mark O'Meara. Which singer is best known for the holiday song I Believe in Father Christmas? Greg Lake. In the United States, what is the recommended method for retiring a worn-out national flag? Burning it in a dignified manner. What was the name of the hospital in the TV series St. Elsewhere? St. Eligius. Johannes Ostermeyer is credited with inventing which photographic aid used to provide a brief burst of light? Flashbulbs. What is the assisted reproductive technology called in which eggs are fertilized outside a woman's body? In vitro fertilization, IVF. Which two human organs are commonly described as self-cleaning because they maintain cleanliness without routine external washing? The eyes and the vagina. Which media tycoon owned the yacht Lady Ghislaine? Robert Maxwell. Which NHL player, nicknamed the Rocket, was the first to score 50 goals in a single season? Maurice Richard. In which U.S. state was rapper Eminem born? Missouri. Aviatophobia is the fear of what? Flying. A quarter horse is named for its speed over what distance? A quarter mile. Which city hosted the 1964 Summer Olympics and is famously associated with the phrase, walk, don't run? Tokyo. What was Ray Charles's birth surname? Robinson. What is the world's largest butterfly by wingspan? Answer: Queen Alexandra's birdwing, Ornithoptera alexandrae. In which city did the Pony Express begin its route, its eastern terminus? St. Joseph, Missouri. What film marked Denzel Washington's debut as a director? Antwone Fisher. Who wrote the novella The Turn of the Screw? Henry James. Which artist scored their first solo hit in 1982 with a cover of Spread a Little Happiness? Sting. What title was given to the rulers of ancient Egypt? Pharaoh. Which artist recorded the 1982 album Nebraska? Bruce Springsteen. Other than Martha Washington, which two women have been depicted on United States currency? Pocahontas and Susan B. Anthony. Which sessile marine crustacean is famous for having a penis many times the length of its body? Barnacle. What is the official currency of Switzerland? Swiss franc. Besides hive and swarm, what is another collective noun for a group of bees? Colony. What was the name of the group that Florence Ballard and Mary Wilson were part of alongside Diana Ross? The Supremes. What Australian film tells the story of pianist David Helfgott? Shine. Which personal organizer, introduced and named in 1925 by Secretary Grace Skerr, later became a fashion symbol of the 1980s? Filofax. In which Olympic sport do athletes perform maneuvers such as a double axel and a Lutz? Figure skating. Which Peruvian novelist wrote The War of the End of the World? Mario Vargas Llosa. Who ruled the Frankish kingdom from 768 to 814 AD? Charlemagne. Who clinched the Formula One Drivers' Championship in 2007? Kimi Räikkönen. In which German city was the poet Heinrich Heine born? Düsseldorf. What is the capital of the island nation of Comoros? Moroni. What was Bob Dylan's birth name? Robert Allen Zimmerman. What does the Blue Book document about people? their social standing, and family lineage. Members of American high society. That's the end of the show. Thanks for listening. Come back tomorrow for more exciting trivia.